Welcome back, my friends, for another episode of MES Podcast, everyone's favorite football podcast in the world. Welcome once again. I am here with Baby Booga. We're going to be diving into all things Barcelona. Barcelona cruising past Sociedad, easy peasy 4-0 victory. Earlier in the week, a 4-4 draw against Atletico in the semifinal of the Copa del Rey. We'll be doing full match reviews for both of those, plus taking a look ahead. We've got Benfica in the Champions League coming up here on Wednesday. Not an easy tie. So we're going to be doing a little preview for that one. All things Barcelona, like I said, make sure you drop a like, show us some love and support. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give your comments below. We love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, get your questions as we go through today's episode. With that out of the way, Baby Booga, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I don't think it's Hurricane's favorite podcast, though, because we always slander him.
Friend of the pod. He can
friend
take
of
it.
the pod, Hurricane.
Yeah, we've got a good rapport with Harry Kane. He can take the comments.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. Back on the top of the grid. Back on the top of the grid. Oh my god, I just went full American.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Full of the top of the table.
I'm to you.
Yeah, top of the table. I think it's really good. I think we're back on where we need to be, and I'm really liking the way that the team is playing. And I like that our conversation is no longer about, players, about like, it seems that the Araujo debate has died down, It's like we are just enjoying what we're seeing at the moment, and that's what we need for this sort of part of the season,
Yeah, I do. We
need to focus on performances.
Focus on performances. We are now in March, which means we've got just a little bit over 2 months left, right?
Let's go, baby.
If we look at what we got going on here, Barcelona, like you said, sitting top of the table. I am looking at Yeah, we only got 8 matches left. No, 10. We play 38, right? 12 matches. I could do math. It's early. For those of you that are listening, we're recording this one on Monday morning as opposed to Sunday afternoon. So brain fart's going to happen. So we got 12 matches left. We are 1 point up over Atletico. We are now 3 points up over Real Madrid after they dropped points versus Betis. Did you catch that at all? Were you surprised with Isco celebrating against Real Madrid?
Yeah, I was actually watching that game. I actually had time to watch that when I went to the beach on Saturday. I don't know if you can notice my tan, my golden tan.
this guy over here.
I actually don't like to do that. That's left for other people. But I hate it because I hate the sensation when you get burned by the sun.
Yeah, nobody likes getting burned.
It's horrible.
Look at the pale face that you were talking to, my guy. I know about sunburns, okay?
Yeah, I bet.
Nobody enjoys that.
So, no, I was surprised. I was surprised because Real Betis, threw them, washed them completely. They were playing amazing football, I don't know if it's... I think it's Isco. It's Magic Isco, really. He played incredibly well.
Well, let's come on. It's Johnny Cardoso, but...
True.
Isco had his part in it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Aura Anthony as well. Aura Anthony. Sure. Aura Anthony as well.
What a resurgence for Anthony.
Yeah,
my goodness. Man United looks so terrible.
Really, everyone who goes out of Man United looks good. I don't know. But yeah, I was surprised that it went like that. And what I was more surprised about, did you catch what Vinicius Jr. said after in his he sent a tweet out saying, we played a horrible match, but it's okay. It's okay. We move on to the Champions League. He said, ya está. Ya está is in Spanish, he's saying whatever. It's whatever,
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. What? Why would you say that? It's that's the sort of mentality you have. Oh, I don't know, man. I think that's the only...
I would rather him say that than... complaining about how the match went and referees and not getting the calls and, what people say in the stands and this and that. I'd rather him just say, we move on, or say nothing at all. I'm fine with that too.
But it's funny.
I hope the next generation of players coming up slingshots back the other way, where they're private with their thoughts. They're not sharing videos and pictures from the locker room. They're not tweeting out their opinions about stuff after the match. I hope we see a resurgence of
the old
stoicism Yeah, keeping things in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah. And we have to see, the crazy publications and inside news when we get that. Yeah,
Yes.
but overall, was a surprise that he celebrated? Not really. Like, I mean, it's an important game, Like, I think people take it too seriously. Like, come your
Yeah,
titties,
but
dude.
he was at Real Madrid for what, like 10 years or something?
Yeah, I know, but like, calm down, bro. He a Barcelona fan. We all know, bro. He had a dog named Messi, so it's cool.
Too funny.
We all know.
Anyway.
We all know which club he supports.
Anyway, it's tempting to just to dive into the Real Sociedad match, but I don't want to overlook Barcelona's match against Atletico Madrid. 4-4. Started out 2-0 down, then went up 4-2, and then thanks to Sorloth with another stoppage time goal, this one ends up 4-4. What stood out to you? What are the takeaways? How are you feeling after that match?
I think I don't know what happened in the first like 6 minutes. I think that's an area of the game where Flick has to go like, okay, that's something we need to analyze for like a Champions League, game. Like
Sure.
that's something you cannot let. That's something you cannot let it happen on a knockout tie in the Champions League. Like that should not happen. But I also, as a fan, I'm not sure what happened myself. I cannot pinpoint it down to analysis. Where Atletico Madrid just too good with cut offside, or what went wrong. I'm not too sure. I'm still getting
Big yawns. I told you we're recording this one early.
Yeah, we're recording in the morning. I'm still getting the yawns. No, but like I was surprised. I'm certainly I'm very happy about the reaction of the team. Because the team could have just they locked in. Lamine Yamal, I think, really locked in that game. He locked in. He started. Maybe he didn't have his best performance because I think actually his game against. I mean, he was incredible against Atletico Madrid. Don't get me wrong. He was equally as incredible against Real Sociedad. But what I mean is like he locked in and he makes things happen. He started to show. He affected the game more by what he did, like by him showing like stepping up and getting other players to step up as well alongside him. I think that's what I'm trying to say for Atletico Madrid. Whilst in Real Sociedad, he took the lead, right? And I think that really just kind of spread to the rest of the team, and I think they did very good after that. And we came back. I think the 2 goals I'm very happy for the goal for Guarci. I was really shouting out for that goal, his first professional goal. I was really excited. 2 assists from Rafinha from the corners. I'm really good. Atletico Madrid then turned off a little bit, but then they locked in again, and that's another thing that Barcelona cannot let happen in a Champions League game. Like if that's 4-2 up, you have to be able to once again control the game a little bit more. And I think this game, whilst in the perspective, if I step back and look at it, it's not horrible because it's a draw in the first leg of a knockout tie. It could have gone much better. We can learn a lot of things, that can help us.
Yeah. Well, this is the second time that I would say we played significantly better than Atletico Madrid and didn't get the win.
Absolutely.
Right? The first match in La Liga, we dominated, ended up losing that one 2-1. Again, Sorloth getting a goal in stoppage time. Is it Atletico is just not willing to be put down, or is Barcelona doing something wrong? It's hard to tell because we have had a couple of slip-ups where we've got the lead, we should be cruising, we should be putting in another goal, a second goal, but we don't get it. Is this Barcelona slipping up, or is this just Atletico saying never say die, essentially?
It's difficult to pinpoint because I think like Atletico are a very good team, particularly this year. Like I think they're playing very good football and they're very resilient with their game. But the way that they came back into it, it's like you have to give them a lifeline. And we gave them the lifeline. They took it, It's like 50% on us and then 50% on them.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever heard that thing where they say like technically, like if you have a car accident, it's not like there's always certain responsibility because like from both parts, because even though the guy may be at like a full speed and is gonna crash into you, if you're like wary of what's happening, you have the reaction time to move out of the way.
Sure.
So you can have like 10% responsibility. So I think like in football, it's very similar like that. Like there's always like 10% responsibility in something that you do. So in this case, we have way more responsibility. So that's what I'm trying to. What we have to tell to Flick is limit that responsibility. You have to make it as small as possible so that teams don't grab into it.
Yeah. I would have liked to see us kill this one off. I would have liked to have a little bit more confidence going into our next La Liga fixture with Atletico, and maybe even be able to, take it easy, put out a B squad in that second leg. That would have been nice. Like if we kept that 2-goal lead, I think it's a little bit more comfortable for Barcelona as we head into the tail end of our season here, because everything's ramping up. Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League. It would have been nice to to have that little cushion there. I mean, Barcelona's 68% possession, 16 shots, 9 on target, compared to Atletico's 32% possession, but they still got 10 shots, 7 on target. So they're doing more, or they're doing as much, I should say. They're doing as much with way less possession. They had half the number of passes that Barcelona had during this match. So we just got to figure out how to kill them off. For whatever reason, we're outplaying them on the pitch, but goals scored, they're right there with us. So I think maybe third time's the charm when we face them in La Liga coming up. I think we take care of business and then do it again in the Copa del Rey. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I think like also people don't have to struggle and say like they're a good team, like
they're a good team.
They're a good team. Like they struggle. We were gonna struggle. Like they may beat us. We were struggle, and like I think that's what happens when you face teams of that caliber. Like they are of that caliber, right? It's not like we're facing freaking, I don't know. Like even Real Sociedad are of a little bit. Like we could feel deflated if we lost against Real Sociedad, let's say, for instance, because that's I think that's a bigger margin of difference. But Atletico Madrid are a team easily that could be in a Champions League final.
Barca. Yeah. They've got a puncher's chance in any match there.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that stood out to me, because we've debated this, I think, all season long. Where does Olmo, where does Ferran Torres slide in? Both of them got the start against Atletico. I think it seals it for me that both of them are super subs. I really was not impressed with Olmo's performance overall. I'll start with him. I think that he has a different mentality coming off the bench, where he's ready to make a difference. He's ready to have an impact. He's ready to prove the manager wrong for not giving him the start. And you see him working hard to get into space. You see the movement off the ball. You see the impact when Dani Olmo comes off the bench. When he starts, it's almost like, I don't know if he's conserving his energy. I don't know if he's playing it differently because he hasn't had the opportunity to kind of watch the game and absorb it and think about what he wants to do when he goes out there, which is what he gets when he comes off the bench. But just it is a lesser version of Dani Olmo when he starts. And then Ferran, I swear, every time he gets the start, he will get opportunities one-on-one with the keeper that he just can't seem to finish. So this is not a hating on Ferran. This is not a hating on Dani Olmo. This is, I think, just a recognition that, hey, you guys are better off the bench. The last 20, 30 minutes of a game, you're going to come in, you're going to make a difference, you're going to win matches for us, you're going to bring us back in some matches, you're going to have that impact, but it's going to come off the bench. I think I'm ready to declare that now that we are 3/4 of the way through the season. I think that's where we've settled.
I think more than like for saying win the game, more than like, sorry, off the bench, I think they are. I agree. I think they're better off the bench. I think we have to look at it like depends on where we are in a game. Because I think that if we are fighting for a game or the result is still open up, that's where we bring them in. But I think that when we are chasing a game, I don't think they're the best players.
Like if we were like down 2-1, 75th minute. You're saying that's not the opportunity for them?
No, I think they're better when it's like a deadlock, where it's like 0-0, where it's like 1-1, where it's like 2-2, and both teams are like waiting to see what's gonna happen, and they're both like in that equal stalemate position. There are players
Yeah.
who you bring in and they have an impact because they change the way that stalemate can go. When we are open up and we are demolishing a team, they're good as well because they improve the simply, I don't know, the intensity of what the team is attacking. But when we are chasing a game, I don't think they're the best.
Yeah.
When we were 2-0 down,
Sure.
I think we're not the best.
I'm with you on that. Like I get what you're saying. It's almost like we need to have some momentum going, and then they can come on and ride that momentum. But if we haven't gotten things started, if we're looking for that that turnaround, they may not be it. I'll say Ferron is definitely not going to give that to you. I think Dani Olmo can though. I think,
But that's what I mean.
Olmo
At deadlock,
has
like Dani
more
Olmo
of
has
the
been able
potential.
to give you moments when it's a deadlock, like to
Yeah,
open
like
things up.
Dani Olmo can come on and change how Barcelona is playing, but Ferron not so much.
Yeah.
Like Ferron can come on and continue the momentum, but I think Olmo has a little bit more of ability to be that playmaker, to be that spark, to be
Yeah.
the difference maker.
Yeah, but I think like against Rayo Vallecano, for instance, Dani Olmo changed the game, but he opened the score. Like he um we were in a deadlock position where it's like we're stuck,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're stuck. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
When Barcelona are stuck, that's where it changes. But it's differently when you're chasing a game, because when you're chasing a game, I think they're two different things. Because a deadlock is when you're already there and you're already like
Yeah.
knocking on the door, but you just cannot get the call. I think that's where Dani Olmo can help you, and he can
Okay.
unlock that. But when you are like chasing is when you're like running back and forth, and you're trying to stop a goal and the game is all over the place and you don't know how to go, but you need to score a goal and you're going behind and you need something like that. I think
Yeah.
Gavi, for instance, I think that's better.
That's exactly who I was thinking of, actually. Gavi's the one you want in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that's where I think it's better, and so that's what I mean with Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres. I think it's about where we are and about where you want them.
I'm with you on that. Another thing that came up, it was mentioned, I'm pretty sure during this match, in one of the last two matches, it was brought up. Lamine Yamal has not been finding the back of the net lately. I think it's been a couple of months actually since he's scored a goal. Are you at all concerned about that, or are there other aspects of his game that are maybe coming through that we can highlight so that we're not just focused on the goal scoring? Is that on your radar at all?
Yeah, but I mean, he's still doing the things that I want him to do. Like, I don't want him to be scoring the goals. I mean, the other thing I was watching yesterday, the top 10 defeats of Real Madrid against big teams in this decade, and they were all against Real Madrid, against Barcelona. The last two matches, the last two de Clásicos, Lamine Yamal has scored. And you know what? I think Lamine Yamal is that. Like, I don't think Lamine Yamal is gonna be this player who's gonna have massive volume of goals. I mean, he may be that when he's like 23, 24. When he gets at that peak of athleticism and he unlocks himself like to be, the player that he gets he's full grown player. But right now, I think he's like just a key player. He's a key important player. We need to make things happen with him. He's a playmaker in the wide positions of the field because he can take people on. He's brave. He's courageous. He doesn't have any problems with it. So he goes there. He grabs himself up and grabs the team alongside him. So because he's doing what I want him to do. Like I said, against Atletico Madrid, he put the team on the back on his back and just propelled us to get back into the game against Real Sociedad. The pre-assist for the goal from Gerard Martin was insane. Did you see that?
Yeah. And that's where I was driving towards, is that he's not. Yeah, he started out on fire with goals and assists. The goals have trickled away a little bit, but he's still got 16 assists this season. So I think his output is amazing. But to your point, it's the creative play that leads up to it. It's the pass before the pass. He's drawing 2-3 defenders towards him, beating them, finding an open man, and it leads to goals. So, if you're scrolling through Twitter or, X, I wonder if I'll ever actually call it X. I'm still hanging on calling it Twitter. It might be my age, but
No,
if you're
everything to
scrolling,
Twitter.
yeah, if you're scrolling through Twitter, you'll see all kinds of, oh, Lamine Yamal hasn't scored this, or here's another young player who scored more goals than Lamine Yamal. Is he toast? Like, you got to watch the games. You
Yeah.
know, people that are just watching highlights, just looking to see who scored. You got to watch the games and see the difference. I mean, for me, Lamine Yamal is still cooking. He's still at the top of his game right now, and he's still getting better too. So I don't really subscribe to any kind of worry around him not finding the back of the net necessarily.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a player maybe of that age.
There's what's his name at Arsenal that gets compared to a lot. It's two last names. What is it?
Lewis Kelly.
Is that it? I don't think that's it. Is that
No,
it? It's like 18 or
Nawari.
something like that. I don't know. I try my best to not watch Arsenal, but
No, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to look for a player in the history books of football that like at that age was like important like that, but his volume of goals and that it didn't rise to be that sort of level, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
But
you're gonna have a hard time finding somebody at Lamine's age at that level.
Yeah, but there are not that many. But I'm trying. But it doesn't matter, you know. Like for instance, Mario Götze when he came through like at Dortmund, he was insane, you know. But he didn't have volumes of goals. He created everything. That club team for Dortmund, he was like the main focal point, and he was a playmaker and insane. I'm not saying Lamine Yamal is anything similar to that. I think he's way better. But what I'm trying to say is that Götze still was amazing, you know, at that point. But it's like you're not asking him of those numbers. He was incredible with assists and all of that, and then we were expecting to see how he developed, and I mean he stagnated, right? So we all know where that went. But like, fun fact: do you know who made the substitution?
Oh, for Götze to Hansi Flick.
In the World Club, Hansi Flick made the substitution.
That was such a bummer. I was so sad watching that.
Yeah, but I think it had to happen because like then we got the best freaking.
We got the best World Cup run of all time. Yeah,
the best final ever. But you know what I mean. I mean, Lamine Yamal, you don't have to worry about him right now. I think like just focus on what he's doing. He's an amazing player. He's still growing. He's 17 years of age. Like, come on. He's 17 years of age. The guy is doing whatever he wants on the field. He's insane. He's the best young talent right now in football. He's Barcelona's best kid player ever. And like, I don't know, man. He's just insane. Let him be.
I do have one complaint.
Oh, drop it.
He idolizes Neymar, which can have some positive aspects to it. But one part of Neymar's game that truly drove me crazy that I am now seeing Lamine adopt is the diving. The diving. I can't stand it. I really can't. Lionel Messi is the epitome, is the role model, is what you should be doing as a footballer, which is you play until you get knocked down, and when you get knocked down, you fight to get back up until you hear a whistle. Yeah. It shouldn't be looking for the contact. It shouldn't be letting yourself go down if there is the slightest contact. Like, play the game in a respectable way. I really do. Because I can't defend it. When people call out Lamine for diving, I can't defend it. I hate that it's part of the game. I don't like to see it. We would get so much criticism from Neymar. Busquets had a bit of a reputation for it. Suarez had a little bit of a reputation for it. But Neymar, number one, head and shoulders above everybody else, was a clear diver. I don't want Lamine to go down that road. It's a bad look, and it's something that will tarnish his legacy if he continues that.
I think it's part of. I think he's also quite of a. What's the word in Spanish? There's a word. He's a bit of a, but it's not the right word in English. Is not a show off. It's not the word. It's like a show off without the intent of being a show off. You know, like without trying to be mean.
I mean, he plays with flair.
He plays with flair, and he goes like he scores at the Bernabeu, and he's like, you know, look at me, you know? like I don't know. That's like
that's all fine. He's got aura. He's got swagger.
He's got swag. Exactly. I think that's a word.
Love that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm really happy about Lamine Yamal because we talked about it the other day. I talked to my friends today. We had a huge debate while we were drinking, and and the debate was similar to what we had in our podcast the other day. And I was like, they were saying who was better, Ronaldinho or Neymar? That was our debate, right? It was like an hour long debate. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it. But my only point was that I think Neymar gets, if you just take out Messi and Ronaldo and you just leave Neymar in that period, I think people realize how good this guy actually is. Like, and now I think that Lamine Yamal, I think Lamine Yamal will be the epitome of that, because he's gonna be entering a period where I don't think another player. He's very similar to Neymar. Like very, very similar in the way that he plays. Very similar. Like he's extremely similar to Neymar. He's not. People say, "Oh, Messi, whatever," but he's a Barcelona. But he's like, he's little Neymar on the right. That's literally Lamine Yamal, and I kept watching games. I love being at the beach and watching old games of Barcelona. Okay, that's one of my fetishes. I was watching Barcelona. You remember the 4-0 victory that when we had the horizontal stripes, 2016. 2015, 2016.
2015, 16, yep.
Yeah, we had Neymar, Suarez, and Messi was injured, and we played them at the Bernabeu, and we beat them 4-0. Messi was a substitute because coming off an injury, and he came on in the second half. Remember the goal of Iniesta, a long range after a back heel from Neymar? Remember that?
Yes.
That game, Neymar bowled out, and it's like there are so many instances where this guy just dominated a game, and I think like Lamine Yamal will be that, and I feel that people are gonna realize that now, because like I think that Lamine Yamal in a way is gonna help Neymar. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Listen,
you're still thinking about the Ronaldinho versus Neymar debate.
I am, because I won't tolerate anybody saying that Neymar was better than Ronaldinho. I don't think that's accurate whatsoever. I'll say, and we've said all this before, but if Neymar just didn't go to PSG, I don't think you even have to remove Ronaldo and Messi. I think if Neymar would have, and I'm not saying he needed to stay at Barcelona, if he just would have stayed at a top club, I think he'd be much more in the argument.
If he stayed at Barcelona right now, like he will be right now, insane. He will be like, he will still be playing.
But he didn't. He left.
What about? I think. Anyway. What about? Are you reading the rumors? Can we just talk about it quickly? You're done.
No, I'm so done. I'm so over it. Neymar to Barcelona. Rumors,
one last dance.
Please get out of here, dude. Like, no.
You hate Neymar?
No. He blew it. Okay, like nah. If somebody breaks up with you because they think that they can have a significant other that's better than you are, and then they learn, oh, I'm wrong, and then they want to come back, you don't automatically let that person back. You go, no. You made your choice. Go ahead with that other person. Go ahead with that other club. Good luck with that. And then you see what happens. And then 2 kids and 20 pounds later, you want to come back to us? Nah, dude. Nah, I'm good.
But he has reflected and everything. You
can I'm probably gonna say something vulgar.
But he's so good, bro. He's so good. Just one. Just a little date,
I don't think Neymar deserves
a little chance.
The second chance. I don't think he deserves the second chance. I don't think he deserves to get closure from that situation. He should have to live forever as the man who wanted to leave Lionel Messi because he thought he could do better.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, he's not coming. It's not happening. If you could choose Neymar or Messi to come back for 6 months, which would you choose?
What kind of question is that?
I'm just checking you. Because I'm not sure at this point. You're so in love with Neymar. I'm just trying to get a gauge of how in love with him you are.
I would choose Antoine Griezmann. No, just kidding.
You would though. You would. I bet between the three, I bet you would take Griezmann.
No, I'll take Messi. But like in my 11 of like favorite players, like I love Messi, but I'm not gonna dig myself into a hole, so I'm just gonna shut up.
Yeah, you were about to say some things.
Yeah.
All right. We've strayed so far away from these matches, but shout out to Gerard Martin and Mark Casado, and in the previous match versus Atletico, Barça all scoring their first goals for Barcelona. That's exciting.
Yep.
And Martin and Casado, I believe, first professional goals.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff there. Not a whole lot to take away from the Sociedad match, to be honest. Down to 10 men. Well, did you think it was a red card?
Yeah.
Against Elustando?
Yeah. I mean, it's a red card, but it's just like, don't do that,
It's far away from goal. I think that's the only argument. But for me, it is a red card. It's by the book. It's last man back. It's a clear foul.
Yeah.
I it is what it is. It does kind of spoil the match when one team goes down to 10, though.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, and then we went 2-0 up. I was like, yeah, I can stop watching the game now.
I just kind of had it on in the background after that.
Yeah, I kind of focus on other stuff as well.
Yeah, because it takes away, because we are such a good club that if you're gonna put our opponent down to 10 men, it's almost like this isn't even a competition.
Yep.
This is too easy for Barcelona. So
stop saying that, because you're gonna give us karma.
knock on wood. I mean, 33 shots, 10 on target, zero shots, not just on target, but 0 shots from Sociedad.
Real Sociedad has one of the worst histories in football because against Barcelona.
Goals. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They have not won since ages. Something crazy like
realize
that. At Barcelona, because they beat us this season. But I mean, like at Barcelona.
At Barcelona, gotcha.
Yeah, they have not won in ages.
Yeah. No, I knew going into this, Sociedad were struggling to find goals, so I didn't imagine they were gonna turn this into a shootout or anything like that. But yeah, zero shots is tough, even if you're down to 10 men. So
yeah.
Anyway, we got Benfica coming up, dude. Champions League, and this is not one that we can just look past. I mean, head-to-head play, Barcelona and Benfica. 4 ties between them. Benfica has 2 wins. Barcelona has 4 wins. We had that ridiculous 5-4 matchup earlier this season. But if you scroll through the results the last few years, it's not been great for Barcelona. 0-0, a 3-0 loss, another 0-0. That's back in 2013. But this is not a gimme for Barcelona by any means. What are your
No.
What are your expectations going into this first leg?
I'm actually pretty nervous because I think I agree with you. In the other day we were doing the breakdown of the table. I was saying I think Benfica is going to be one of the most difficult games we're going to have this season, particularly this game away. Maybe the other return leg as well. We'll have to see how it goes, right? But the most crucial thing is that now this is like round 2. This is rematch. I think their manager, I don't know the name right now off the top of my head. I think Bruno Lage is the manager. They are not gonna. I think he's gonna learn from it, and he's not gonna do the same mistake. There's no way the game goes as open as it was before. I think. I don't know. I think it would something has to give, because that's your role as a manager. I don't think Flick or him will be able to do that. Do you have the lineup of the game that we played that time?
Mm-hmm. So we've got Barcelona started with Chesney, Balde, Kubarsi, Araujo, and Koundé in the back 4. Mm-hmm. We had Pedri, Casado, and Gavi in the midfield.
Pedri, Casado, and Gavi.
Yep, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal as the front 3.
I think the changes might be Íñigo Martínez for Kubarsi, for Araujo, sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. I think that might actually make the defense a lot better, in the sense of we're better when it comes to the offside trap. And I'm really questioning whether is it Frankie or is it Casado.
I think,
and then I think Gavi is over Dani Olmo. That's what I would pick.
You would go with Gavi. Oof.
Because what we talked about, we literally just talked about it.
I know. I probably would too. Actually, I would go Frankie, Gavi, Pedri in the midfield. I would go Kubarsi and Inigo. Yeah, that's I think our strongest lineup right now.
Yeah,
our most consistent lineup. I think Benfica is going to go for it in this match, though. I think that's
100%.
Because they just need to win. It doesn't matter if it's 7-6. Benfica just need to win, and they're not going to do that away from home.
Yeah,
I think if they're going to get a win from one of these two ties, it's going to be at home. So I think they go for it. I think we're going to see another shootout. But
they're capable. They're capable of winning away from home. They beat Juventus. Capable. They beat Juventus in the last day of the Champions League away from home.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna say, I think quickly, Frankie over Casado is good because if it's the game that you're pitching, if it's the game that's open, Frankie can give you that incisive pass and just make things flow a little bit better when you're in the counter, and he can dribble past them and have the ball progression.
He can dribble his way out of trouble a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think Frankie is the key there, Inigo Martinez as well. So our team might improve a little bit, and that extra bit of quality and consistency might give us the edge. The thing is that we can just not be so dumb to concede a hat-trick to Pavlidis in the first half.
Yeah, I think Araujo was to blame for some of that. So, I think by having Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez, I think that shores things up a little bit. I think Flick was maybe a little bit surprised by the tactics of Benfica, really relying on the late overlaps from the fullbacks. So, fool me once kind of deal. I think Flick will be ready for it this time. I'm going back and forth on this in terms of predictions. I'm going to say 3-2 Barcelona. But I'm going to say that we keep a 2-goal lead for most of the match, and they end up sneaking one in late to just give themselves a chance in the second leg. I'm going to say 3-2 Barca.
That's not a bad.
I know, it's amazing. It's a great prediction.
I'm going to go with it. You know what? I was thinking 3-2, and I think I'm going to steal it. Sorry, guys. But if that happens, I'll give you the credit. You know what?
Oh, I appreciate that, Buga.
Yeah, I'll give you the credit.
I'll go Lewandowski double and Rafinha for the third.
I'm going to do it.
Say it.
Rafinha hat-trick, baby.
Okay. I like that.
Ballon d'Or shouts, come back. Baby.
I was gonna ask, actually. I was debating in my head if I wanted to ask that or if it's a conversation for another pod, but it might come down to Rafinha versus Lewandowski for a Ballon d'Or. We're a little bit premature in having that conversation, but are they top 2 candidates right now?
No. From our team?
In general?
No.
Who's leading the way?
I think, like it or not, I think Salah is leading the way. And I think that Mbappe being Mbappe is second now because of the performances he's putting in Madrid and the way Madrid's machine media works.
So if Real Madrid win Champions League, yes, Mbappe leads the way. If Liverpool win Champions League, Mo Salah is leading the way. But if Barcelona win Champions League, I think you say it's Lewandowski or Rafinha. I think out of those players,
depends because if it's also like Lamine Yamal scores like a goal in the semifinal and then that, I think Ballon d'Or has to give it to Lamine Yamal because they would want him to be the youngest one before Ronaldo. You know.
They sure. There would be that campaign and that push, of course. But if you look at just the numbers,
no, I mean, I think for me it has to be Rafinha, like 100%. Because the other thing, you know what's going to happen? Because for me, like, I don't care about what people say, okay? You know what? We need to start wrapping up this episode, but I don't care. Lewandowski in my brain, in my head, he has won a Ballon d'Or. I don't care. I don't care what people say. He has won a Ballon d'Or. I think he's gonna retire, and France Football is gonna give him a Ballon d'Or. That's my.
They should.
They should like that. That would be so dumb. You know, like everybody knows Lewandowski won the Ballon d'Or 2020. Like everybody knows. That's a fact. If you watch football, you know Ballon d'Or. You know Lewandowski won the Ballon d'Or in 2020. Like that, it actually gets me mad. Like, why wouldn't you just give him Ballon d'Or? Sending him to his house in a courier or something. Like, my God, how can you be so dumb? He has already won the Ballon d'Or. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, it would be, I think, particularly, what's the word I'm looking for?
Petty.
Unjust. If Lewandowski missed out just because Rafinha nudged him off that top spot, I would be equally excited for Rafinha and feel bad for Lewandowski.
Yeah, but I would want Rafinha to win it. Like, I think Lewandowski is at the point where he's like, "Nah, Rafa, you deserve it." Like, that's insane, bro.
We'll see. It would be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if we get into that situation. So
you know what I would say? Two things quickly. I would say, first of all, Rafinha winning the Ballon d'Or. Imagine over Vinicius Jr. first. That would be insane.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
It would be like, I don't care if Vinicius is gonna win a Ballon d'Or again. You know, it's like, bro, he just won it first.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That'd be so funny. And then the other thing is like, is Cubarsí the candidate for the Copa Trophy for like the youngest, I don't know what you call it, the Golden Boy?
What, under 21 for the Golden Boy?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's 18. Like,
yeah, you'd have to, right? Right? Because Lamine won it last year.
Yeah. Is he the next candidate, or who else could it be? Like, who's under 18 at the moment in world football?
I think it's got to be Cubarsí.
Let me check. So age is 2007. Birth 2007.
2007. That's so ridiculous, dude. I was already out of high school by then.
I think it has to be him. Like, there are no other names. Like Due, Meino, Yoro, Restes Guller, Tel, Victor Roque, Verminusa, Fofana, Hoysen.
Yeah. I think you go Cubarsí, and then we've won it, what? If Cubarsí wins it, we've won it 4 out of the last 5 years, something like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? Because who won it? It was Pedri, Gavi, and then who won it before Lamine?
Who won it before Lamine?
3 years in a row. Yeah. Was there somebody in between?
Jude Bellingham.
Was it?
Yeah, with Dortmund.
With Dortmund. Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, I would go Cubarsí. We'll see. But maybe we're overlooking somebody. Let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Other ones are people saying Pedri shouts for the Ballon
d'Or. Listen, if the season ended right now and we're Champions League winners, there's a shout for Rafinha, Lewandowski, Pedri, and Lamine. You could make an argument for all 4 of those, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But traditionally, you go with the person who has the most goals. What you typically see.
Yeah.
So, it'd be interesting. So we'll get some comments on it, I'm sure. Keep the conversation going. I think that wraps us up, Booga?
Yeah, I'm trying to see who else could win the Golden Boy. Nobody. Like João Neves, maybe. But
oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Speaking of getting out of here.
Let's get out of
here. Wrap this one up. Another episode in the books. We'll be back next week. We'll recap Barcelona's tie against Benfica. And then who we got coming up in La Liga? Let's see here. We've got, Osasuna coming up on the 8th. So that should be easy peasy. Mm-hmm. We'll do a little recap. And then next week will also be a preview for the second leg, which will be Tuesday, March 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So
moving tomorrow, right along. Madrid derby in the Champions League.
Oh, yeah.
Insanity.
Oh, my gosh. That's going to be exciting. All right. I'm pumped for it. We're glad you're here. You made it to the end, folks. We appreciate the love and support. We will see you next week for more Más que un podcast. Thanks, friends.
Take care. Bye-bye.